The international break is over and the pressure for Arsenal is back on. After 4 league games without a win, Mikel Arteta's Arsenal need to get back on track. So today we'll get all the major team news going into Nottingham Forest, find out what's happening with Bukayo Saka and Riccardo Calafiori, discuss the intriguing news regarding Leandro Trossard, as well as revealing 2 potential targets from Real Madrid. We'll discuss why Arsenal season could be about to change. Yo, what is going on guys? My name is Baz14, welcome back to your boys channel. And the international break is over, Arsenal are back and things are about to get really interesting. So as per, smash a like on the video if you enjoy and subscribe to the channel if you are new, helping your boy on his road to 300,000 subscribers. But starting off with the latest Arsenal news, let's talk about the forgotten man in Kieran Tierney, now 27 years of age. An integral part of Mikel Arteta's side back in 2021-22, the overlapping left back that many people saw as a future Arsenal captain. Fast forward to 2024 though, and Mikel Arteta has completely moved past. After a loan spell at Real Madrid last season, going into Euro 2024 on opening day, Tierney was starting. Against Kai Havertz's Germany, he once again injured his hamstring, ruling him out for the entire tournament. Ever since June, Tierney's still been recovering from that same hamstring injury, returning to his parent club in Arsenal and unable to secure a move away. It's about time that we got some positive news. As confirmed by Tierney himself today, he is back in full Arsenal training. It opens the question straight away though, what does it mean in terms of his Arsenal future? With the arrival of Riccardo, Calafiori, and of course you still got Alexander Zinchenko, the hopefully returning Takahiro Tomiyasu, Miles Lewis-Skelly coming through, and Timber also able to play left back. As Charles Watt confirmed all the way back in October, Kieran Tierney is not in Mikel Arteta's plans anymore. There is no animosity there. He knows the club has moved on and his qualities as a left back are not what Arsenal need in the system they play. I don't even think the issue here is the profile. For me, it's all about the lack of availability. Having spent all of last year on loan in Spain and Real Sociedad, Tierney only made 14 league starts, missing a total of 35 games for club and country, with the key issue once again being that same hamstring injury. It's unfortunate to have seen a player once upon a time being so highly regarded, now being cast to one side and not being a part of our future. It poses the question now coming into January, can Tierney secure a move away? With some reports claiming that former club Celtic are after him. But when you think about the current Arsenal side and the lack of an overlapping natural left back, not only is Tierney still top defensively, but if used in certain game states coming off the bench, with Arsenal needing an extra overlap on the left hand side, I wonder if Mikel Arteta will give him a go to give Arsenal something different. But talking of left backs on loan, let's talk about a guy who's shining in Serie A, leading their league for assists. We're talking about Nuno Tavares. Having been called up to the Portugal side for the first time ever, it's a sign of recognition after a very strong start to the season. Arriving at the Serie A on loan at Lazio, with 8 assists so far this season, 3 clear of any other player in the entire league. Tavares has gone to the Serie A and blown the league apart, averaging an overall 7.39 rating, with some fantastic performances in between those. To some it may be a surprise, but not exactly to your boy. Despite spending all of last year on Nottingham Forest, making only 12 appearances in all competitions. The year before at Marseille, 6 goals in 31 games. Tavares has always been a player far better going offensively, used as a wingback for Lazio, playing more to his strengths. As some Arsenal fans might remember, in the final third Tavares was always a threat, using his pace and his power to his advantage, able to burst past players and cause mayhem, as well as the ability to play a nifty cross on his left foot. In terms of an Arsenal return, that is definitely not happening. That is because his loan to Lazio includes an obligation to buy, worth €9 million, with Arsenal also having a decent sell-on clause. But now let's find out what's happening with Leandro Trossard. After a mixed start to the season for Arsenal using the absence of Martin Odegaard, 7 Arsenal games without a goal, he was a part of the Belgian international duties, starting their first game against Italy playing all 90, but taken off in the following game having played only 37 minutes. According to Isan Khan, there is some hope that Leandro Trossard has not suffered any serious injury playing for Belgium, with the hope the issue is just severe bruising. That remains to be seen whether he can shake off the problem in time to face Nottingham Forest on Saturday. According to Mikel Arteta, Trossard seems to be okay. He trained this morning and he's feeling good, starting more games for Arsenal than ever before. In the absence of Martin Odegaard and the outform Gabriel Jesus, Mikel Arteta has turned to Leandro Trossard. So entering the final year of his Arsenal contract, the question then becomes about his future. And according to Sami Mokbel, Arsenal are now in talks with Leandro Trossard over a new contract, with a significant pay increase as a reward for his impact since joining. Trossard's current deal is worth £90,000 a week, but his new wages will surge into 6 figures if an agreement can be reached. Now the reaction to this has been very mixed. Some Arsenal fans see his importance. A versatile player able to play all across the front 3, scoring 17 goals in all competitions last season, 12 in the Premier League in only 18 starts. Last year he was the perfect super sub and he was very highly rated. But when used as a first team starter this year, there has been some clear issues in his profile, often wasteful on the ball and unable to impact games. Only days away from turning 30 is giving him a contract the wisest of move. moves. But when you think about the future of Gabriel Jesus, earning over £265,000 a week, despite not being a starter, the most likely departure of Raheem Sterling come the end of the season, in windows that Arsenal already have so much to do, is this Arsenal using Trossard as a safety net? To use him going forwards as more of a squad player, a 12th man off the bench, but also preserve his value, because going all the way back to September, if Fabrizio Romano exclusive confirmed that Saudi side Al Ittihad had interest in Trossard, submitting an offer in the region of €35 million. At the time the window was closed and Arsenal couldn't find a replacement, but going into the future I wonder if Arsenal would be more open. Under a new contract, Arsenal could demand even more money. Talk to me down below in the comments, what are your thoughts on Leandro Trossard, and do you believe he deserves a new Arsenal contract? But going into the future in terms of a rival, could Arsenal be once again about to turn to Real Madrid? As the current star Federico Valverde has confirmed, he had a trial at Arsenal back in 2014. I was 16 and I said, that's it, this is my club, I'm going to grow here. In Uruguay the Premier League was watched a lot. I imagined my future there. I enjoyed it and I trained with spectacular players. I don't know if they remember me, but Emi Martinez was one of those who helped me the most in everything, along with Bayern, Alexis and Cazorla. I didn't know English and they had to explain all the work to me. Valverde wasn't meant to be, but what about a certain Brahim Diaz? 25 years of age and a former Man City academy player, having spent time at City during the same time as Mikel Arteta, since going to AC Milan and of course then Real Madrid. He may have been born in Spain, but he's now thriving for Morocco, having scored a hat-trick in their last game in the African qualifiers, a 7-0 victory for Morocco. That is now 7 goals in the Afghan qualifiers, making him the top scorer, having broken through into Real Madrid last year with 12 goals and 9 assists. The thing that stands out was his versatility, playing as a second striker, right winger, attacking midfielder, left winger and centre forward. Let's just say Arsenal were to let go of Leandro Trossard, a player known for his versatility. The profile of Diaz would then make a lot of sense. And the reason behind the rumours is of course this report here. According to Graham Bailey, Arsenal actively keeping tabs on a Brahim Diaz situation, with concerns growing within the player's camp that he may have to leave Real Madrid for more regular minutes. A Madrid side that has Kylian Mbappe, Vinicius Jr and of course Rodrigo, the upcoming Arda, Guler, Camavinga and so many more options. At 25 years of age, Diaz wants to play more first team minutes, with the quality to demand so as well. He's not the only player that's concerned by his lack of playing time, which brings us to the Turkish wonderkid Arda Guler. According to Sports, Arsenal are also interested in signing Arda Guler and have contacted the player's entourage as well as Real Madrid to be informed of the situation. Arsenal see parallels between Guler and Martin Odegaard and will try to repeat the operation. 19 years of age and a poster boy of Turkey, a left-footed wonderkid going into Real Madrid, not getting first team minutes, and then potentially looking for a move away. Arsenal fans of course have a lot of nostalgia there. Martin Odegaard and of course Mesut Ozil, having only started 3 games in La Liga for Real Madrid this season, yet to score a goal or get an assist. We're talking about a player that many people see as a generational talent, having come through at Fenerbahce at only 17 years of age, then gone to Euro 2024 and thrived. Look at his stats so far in the Nations League, averaging a whopping 7.78 rating, having started all 6 of Turkey's games. With all the talk about Martin Odegaard not having a suitable backup player, Arda Guler could be quite the market opportunity. But as Graham Bailey reports, as with Guler and Brahim Diaz, Real Madrid are currently stating that they are not available, but there is a belief that their stance on both players could change in the coming weeks ahead of the January transfer window, especially if there's a chance on a potential loan. That's where I see a most likely move for Arda Guler. Whether it's Arsenal or someone else, it's definitely going to be a loan transfer. But as we've seen in the past with Martin Odegaard, once a player leaves Real Madrid and gets those first team minutes, there's a very good chance that he looks to make that permanent move away. But the question for Arsenal then becomes about Ethan Nwaneri. At 17 years of age, seen as the future of Arsenal, our 3rd highest goal scorer so far this season, playing in the same areas as Arda Guler on the right hand side. Would Arsenal be willing to approach another wonderkid when they've got the already one coming through the academy? But talking of transfer news and coming back to the Premier League, let's talk about the Ghanaian captain Mohammed Kudus. According to Sami Mokbel, West Ham are expected to stand firm on Mohammed Kudus' £85 million release clause as they brace themselves for offers next summer. A host of top Premier League teams hold concrete interest, with Arsenal and Liverpool believed to be among the sides monitoring Kudus. And this for me is no surprise whatsoever, because go back to the summer of 2023, Arsenal were firmly after Kudus coming out of Ajax, reportedly even trying to make an offer before FFP got on their way. The same window that also signed Kai Havertz and Declan Rice, as well as getting David Raya on loan. If we were able to sell Will Smith-Rowe, Eddie and Nketiah, Arsenal could have made a move for Kudus then, signing from as little as €43 million. But there's a reason why even in 2024 Arsenal still have that concrete interest. It all comes down to the dribbling, with the prime example being in Ghana's recent game, where Kudus had a 7.4 rating and completed 5 out of 6 dribbles. Last year in the Premier League, Kudus averaged 4.5 per 90, the second highest only slightly behind Jeremy Doku, at a more impressive 61% success rate. So far in the Premier League this season, he is the second highest only behind Abdul Fattah. For Arsenal, it's all about signing things that we don't currently have. In Gabriel Martinelli, you might have that fantastic pace. You've got the creativity of Bukayo Saka, but neither are world-class ball carriers. Players that can burst past any team and kill their tactics, be unstoppable regardless of how many players mark them. You look at the all-time great dribblers like Andres Iniesta and Lionel Messi. These are what you call unstoppable forces, regardless of any tactical setups. they were always able to play through pressure and find a way to break through. But when compared to Gabriel Martinelli this season, Kudus' numbers actually aren't that impressive, with Martinelli being far better in most metrics. It's mainly down to being a part of the poor West Ham side this season, 14th for the league with only 3 wins. Whether it's Rafael Leao or Mohammed Kudus, Arsenal securing a ball carrier could take us to a new level, especially when you think about the Champions League. But on that same level of importance, you also have to talk about a striker, with the most in form in the world currently being Viktor Gyokeres, according to many reports becoming a prime target for Arsenal. You now have this report here, claiming that Gyokeres has been advised to snub Manchester United for Arsenal instead, who of course have his former manager Ruben Amorim. The links were always going to be there straight away, but the arrival of Rasmus Højlund and Joshua Zirkzee, they've already spent a lot of money on strikers. The room for striker currently isn't there, when you then compare to Arsenal right now apart from Kai Havertz, and now to form Gabriel Jesus. There's a reason why Gyokeres is becoming a prime candidate, who so far this year is competing with Erling Haaland, for a club and country getting 32 goals and 8 assists in only 24 games, more than Haaland's 22 goals and 1 assist, with the price of reportedly at 70 to 80 million euros. There are some questions though about the league he's currently playing in. The Portuguese league, known for producing some stars in the past, Cristiano Ronaldo being the main one, but also the same league that's seen a lot of strikers come through, score a bag load of goals, then not deliver the highest European stage. Remind yourselves of names like Jackson Martinez, who scored 92 goals and 136 games for Porto, only to flop for Atletico Madrid and end up in China. You even had a certain Bas Dost, who scored 93 goals in 127 games, but never quite delivered in the Bundesliga. Another name you could use of course is Radamel Falcao, 72 goals in 87 games for Porto, but come to the Premier League he only had 5 goals in 36 appearances. Gyokeres though now is 27 years of age and to the peak of his powers. He has played in England before, initially signed by Brighton, then thriving for Coventry in the Championship. Comment down below if you believe Gyokeres can thrive in the Premier League. Moving on to Arsenal vs Nottingham Forest, a game that we go into with only 2 words on mind: must win. Against a Forest side banging for on 19 points the same as Arsenal, but only behind on goal difference. And they're also a side, they were on a 3-game winning streak before losing the last game against Newcastle, having spent only 103 minutes training this season, the least in the league ahead of Arsenal, Liverpool, Fulham and Chelsea. Defensively elite under Nuno Santo, with in-form forward players like Callum Hudson-Odoi and Ante Elanga. Chris Wood also scoring goal after goal, with the pacey threat of Morgan Gibbs-White. For Arsenal, this is definitely going to be a very tricky game. So what's happening in terms of the fitness of Bukayo Saka? Well, according to Sammy Mockbell, Saka, who picked up a thigh issue against Chelsea, is in a race against time to prove his fitness to face Nottingham Forest, having not gone on international duties and had time to rest and recover. We have seen Saka in the past make games last minute, and even according to the very reliable Hand of Ozil, Saka will have a late fitness test tomorrow. But one player that won't be making it of course is Ben White, who is now expected to be out for 10 to 12 weeks following a surgery on his knee, with even Mikel Arteta now confirming Ben White is going to be out for months. It's been different kinds of struggles, it's never been the same thing, and it's not been improving. It's got to the point where we have to protect the player. All of this makes the fitness of Tomiyasu and Calafiori that much more important. Despite initial reports that both were meant to be back post-international break, for Tomiyasu there's been another blow. Mikel Arteta confirming he is still not available. We don't know when he will be back. He's now going to be away for a few weeks to continue his treatment and change his environment for a bit. He's a top guy and he feels terrible being out. Hopefully it can unlock him. It's got to the point where a lot of people are starting to feel sorry, but thankfully the fullback burden is being eased by the return of Riccardo Calafiori. With Mikel Arteta confirming Calafiori trained today, he trained on the pitch this week so he's back in the squad, with the player himself then confirming at Villa's Instagram story, with the caption "We are so back." This return here could be absolutely pivotal, especially for Arsenal's left hand side, not only allowing Timber to move back to the right, but giving Martinelli that partner once again. And more importantly for Timber, it also helps ease the load. Having just come back from an ACL injury, with Arsenal having many games coming thick and fast, the last thing you want is to overload his minutes. There was also some uncertainty about Declan Rice though, having missed international duties via a broken toe. But as Mikel Arteta confirms, alongside Trossard, Saka and Calafiori, Declan Rice is also back in training. We once again find ourselves going into a game with a lot of uncertainty, and I wonder if Mikel Arteta uses that to his advantage. Because as revealed by Alexander Zinchenko, Arteta likes to play games with the opposition. I've seen him tell injured players come on the team bus and walk into the dressing room with their wash bag to put the other manager off the scent. These gimmicks are all fun in games and the workout is amazing, but right now Mikel Arteta is under a lot of pressure, with the demand for a trophy being bigger than ever. As he said during the international break, we had a real clear intention that we were going to evolve the team, make the pieces of the car much better and much more efficient. But what we found out is every day we have to change something big. The engine, the wheels. We have problem after problem. Referring of course to the injuries, with Arsenal now approaching some very important games. All eyes turn to the Arsenal midfield now. Firstly of course Mikel Merino, having thrived for Spain during the international break, then got a full 90 minutes of rest. Using him as a left number 8 is going to be very important. That cameo against Chelsea was very exciting, with the need for support for Gabriel Martinelli. The use of Mourinho is going to be very important. Likewise, of course, the returning captain Martin Odegaard, having played on 90 minutes against Chelsea in his first game back, not going on international duties and be fully rested. Despite playing only 4 games in the league so far this season, his stats radar is still very impressive, leading Arsenal for open play expected assist, alongside deep completions as well. His return could be a catalyst for change at Arsenal, approaching a part of the year with our title race hanging by a thread. As Sammy Mockbell says, Arsenal have already played 5 of last season's top 7 away from home, with better results in 2022-23. They now will hardly leave London until late January. When you've got the captain back and you've got the stability of Mikel Merino, Thomas Partey is still in form as well, and hopefully the returning Declan Rice. With that level of midfield stability, Arsenal can have the perfect foundation to not only once again give them the defensive cover, but give the attack the best platform to thrive. Currently 9 points off top place Liverpool, we are in a very hard position. According to the Premier League's own websites, so far this year Arsenal have actually had the second hardest start to the season, with a 3.1 fixture difficulty rating. You then compare that to Liverpool and Man City, who've only had 2.9. Whether it's the hopium or the copium, one can only hope that this evens out over the course of the season, because when you then look at Arsenal's next 10 games, according to Opta, we're actually going to have the 4th easiest run in the league, with City and Liverpool both having harder fixtures. Here's the current top 4 and the games they have coming up, with Arsenal's next 5 being Forest, West Ham, United, Fulham, Everton and Crystal Palace. The reason why I think there's a very good chance that Arsenal could go on a run, it's not just the players that we have returning, but it's the fact that we're going to barely leave London. Not only more home games, but away games are also in the same city. As pointed out by Sam Dean, for Arsenal's first 11 league games they have travelled around 715 miles, but for the next 11 league games, they will only travel 128. Life is about to get easier on paper at least. For footballers that travel the world have major international duties, having that stability of not having to travel as much, more time to rest and spend time on the training ground could be the fine margins to help things tip back into Arsenal favour, because when you're so far behind first place Liverpool, as Mikel Arteta said himself after the game against Chelsea, we have to win, and the title race of course is now going to be more intriguing than ever. With the recent news confirming that Pep Guardiola has signed a 1-year contract extension, Liverpool may be the team top of the league, but as Arsenal fans know for the past few years, a galvanised Man City is as dangerous as any team in the league. The focus though turns all back to us. Nottingham Forest at the Emirates Stadium. It's a must-win. It's time to get ourselves back on a winning run. A major winning run is needed. That is the video there and there, so hopefully you guys have enjoyed. If you have, don't forget to smash a like and also subscribe to the channel if you are new. If you want to follow your boy on all of the social medias, and the links are down below in the description. But that was all of your latest Arsenal news today, going into a massive game against Nottingham Forest. The Emirates Stadium, it is must win, and there's a chance to get our season back on track. So my friends, let's see what happens, and I'll speak very soon. Take care, and a bit.